I always wanted to serve on a jury.
I'm really super excited to be here, so I really appreciate you having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Creating this whole trial, Daddy.
I want to give a big shout out to the 13th Juror podcast and Brandy.
Yeah, I applaud you guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
That every time you run into Phil Barber, you should reach for it.
And then I just look to the jury, and it's sort of like, look.
I was in the eye of the storm, and you guys were watching the storm.
Hey, if you're bored of work, come pop in and say, hey, want some coffee?
You are a ray of sunshine, and I love what you've done with your YouTube channel.
Morning. Sorry, it looks like I'm taking shots. I'm not. I promise. It's magic mind. I promise I'm not taking shots. First thing in the morning. Good morning. Hello, jurors. It is good to see you. Hello. I have a poll up. If you have not seen it, have not voted yet, go ahead and vote, because I'll put another one up in a little bit, and we'll just make our way through polls and see what everybody's thinking. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's Magic Mind? Magic Mind is, so they're one of my sponsors, not for this, like it's for the podcast. So it had, like, me saying it right now has nothing to do with anything. I'm not getting paid for this. But they're one of my sponsors. But okay, look, this is what it is. Man, this stuff is good. Like, it's, I started taking it. They sent me some to try before I would endorse them for the sponsorship. And I was like, all right, well, I'll try it. Like, all my sponsors send me different stuff to try. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Man, this stuff is good. So now I order it. I take one every morning. Chat Daddy takes one every morning. I've got my best friend and her husband on it. They take it every morning. It helps with like mood and stuff like that. But helps with, it says sharper mind, lower stress, calm energy. So it helps with like mood and stress and all that. But man, it helps me focus. I get so much done. I'm so much more productive when I take it. So I take one every morning. So it looks like I'm just sitting here taking shots, but I'm not. I mean, I guess I am, but not the kind of shots you take in the evening time. Good morning, everyone. Let me go back because there were a few things that happened before we started, and I want to acknowledge our friends. Melanie, welcome. Welcome back to the green. Fur Baby's mom, happy 17 months. So glad we're all together again. I know, I have missed y'all so much. Happy 17 months. And Fur Baby's mom gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you. Queen Oliver Than, 18 months. Have I been doing this that long? Oh, so fun. Happy 18 months. And Queen Oliver Than gifted a membership. Thank you so much. And Breezy, remember, for 18 months, it's our anniversary. I wish I need to get my little thing working again with all my little sound effects. So happy 18-month anniversary. I am happy to see y'all. Oh yeah, the link. Let me see, because I have, yes. I can do that for you. I should have been prepared. I should have been prepared, but I wasn't. I thought I was going to take that real quick before the music ended, and I didn't. Episode sheet. Let me find Magic Mind. I can find that for you. I think it's code Brandy. But let's see. We'll find it. Magic Mind. Here we go. Because you get a discount with my code. Should have been more prepared. Get your life together, Brandy. Magic Mind. I don't have the code written on that one. Hold on. I'll find it. Oh, here we go. Oh, Juror. Okay, so magicmind.com/juror. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Magicmind.com/ oops. Get your life together. Juror. There we go. Magicmind.com/juror. Okay, so that's that. It's actually really like I said, I'm not getting paid to say that. I mean, on the podcast, they are one of my paid sponsors, but right now I'm not. But I'm telling y'all, this stuff, magical, which is, I guess why they call it Magic Mind. And my kid wasn't feeling good one day. I gave it to him and snapped him right out of it. He felt good. I love that stuff. Love it. It's great. All right. So say hi to Lucy. Lucy's in her little domain. Good morning. Good morning. I like to see what y'all say. We're starting an hour early before the hearing so that we can just catch up, because I don't get to see y'all much anymore lately because life has been crazy. Queen Everything, looks like Brandy is back home. I am back home right now. I am. What is today? Wednesday. So tomorrow I will be going back to Orlando area. I have to be in Lake County on Friday. So I will be going back to Orlando tomorrow. I'll be there till right after Thanksgiving. And then I'll be back here again. I'm just back and forth. Just back and forth. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Died to do 420. Thank you. Thank you. Nina, Nana, Linda, member for 16 whole months, 16 months. So glad to be here and see you. So happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am happy. I'm a happy gal. Happy gal. No CBD, no 420 in it. It's got, hold on, let me put on my old lady glasses. Where are my old lady glasses? Oh, here they are. I need my glasses to find my glasses. I've got, my screens are so big I don't have to see. Okay, I can tell you though. Nope, still can't. Hold on. Yep, I still can't. My eyeballs. I've been staring at a computer screen all day yesterday and all morning since 5:30 this morning, so I still can't read it. But their ingredients are on. Maybe you can. Wait, hold on. Let's see if I can make it not blurry. Wait. Nope, still can't. Whatever. Okay, we tried. We gave it the old college go. I'm sure you can pull it up on the website, but I don't know what's in it, but I see potassium. I don't know. I can't see anything. Who needs to see? Life is pretty when everything's blurry. Yes, hello. I am back. Hello. My friends, hello. April B12, hello. Patricia, I adore your split screen with your dogs. I have 2 Yorkies who I actually think watch your pup so cute. I love that when people will post, they'll tag me in pictures of their little fur babies like up at the screen watching Lucy. It's the cutest ever. I love it. Hello. Oh, lots of vitamin B for energy. Got me bouncing off the walls. Not really. It really does have me very focused. This stuff works. Things must be going go, Chat Daddy. Chat Daddy's doing well. Jackie D member for 15 months. Hey. Good to see everybody. It is good to see you too. Selena K, hello. Member for 16 whole months. Time flies when having fun. It sure does, don't it? It sure does. Lynn, I will be in Orlando Thanksgiving week, taking my grandson to Disney for his 6th birthday. Oh, that's so cool. Actually, so Chat Daddy lives just a few miles from Disney. So it's cool because we pull the golf cart up and like park right by the lake, and we'll watch the Disney fireworks. Like it's, I guess like it's not really like a lake, it's a pond, but whatever. So like we'll pull the golf cart up right there, and he only lives a few miles from Disney. So it's like the perfect view right there of the Disney fireworks every night. It's so cool. You guys are going to keep me company while I wait for my 7-year-old granddaughter to get out of surgery. Oh, goodness. Prayers for quick recovery. Hello. Zach, my favorite mediocre chatter. Madam Mediocre, you've missed me so much. Have I though? It is good to see you, Zach. It is good to see you. I love when Zach insults me in the comments and people don't realize like that's just like his love language. And he'll say stuff about me being mediocre, and people are like, she is, if you don't like her, you just don't have to watch. So funny. So funny. Hello. Oh, and vitamin D3 too, which lots of people don't see. Yeah, good. They have the ingredients on the website. I'm telling you, this stuff is like good. It's good. My nephew works at Disney. Oh, that's cool. I love the Disney fireworks, especially up in the air. Yeah, so the Disney fireworks are really cool. So fun fact, on me and Chat Daddy's very first date, I had told him that I love sunsets. Y'all know I love sunsets. I will go out there and live stream a sunset. I'll pull it up on the screen. Like y'all know how I am about sunsets. So I told him that I love sunsets. So our very first date, he took me to this place called California Grill. It's at Disney, and it's like on this rooftop, and it's so cool because it's got like you can see the most beautiful sunset, and it's a really nice restaurant too. The food was great, but it has like the most beautiful sunset because you're like on this rooftop at this big place in Disney or whatever. And then after the sun goes down, then a little bit later, then you have the Disney fireworks that you watch, and it was the coolest thing. It was like, so we got to see the fireworks from like, I guess that's technically up in the air, right? And they have like these big observation decks out there. So we ended up going out to the observation decks and stuff and like looking at all the lights and stuff. It was so cool. That place was so cool. I highly recommend it for anybody that's around there. So cool. Patricia, hello, welcome to the family. You live here now. Hello, Brenda. Hello, my friend. I have not seen you in a bit. It is good to see you. Zach doesn't have a sense of humor. He doesn't. He's very kind of boring, isn't he? Super boring. Super boring. Oh, Contemporary Hotel. Yeah, look, y'all know all the things that I don't know. Ladies, hello. Orlando is not the same time zone as me. So that's East Coast, and I'm Panhandle, so I'm Central time zone. So I am always going back and forth, but it's okay. Figure it out. We'll figure it out. If they get, okay, so this is about the poll that I have up. Should they get Mr. Reed's phone records? And Nancy says if they get Bill's, then in fairness, the defense should get Ally McCabe's. So in the long run, it may help her even if they lose on the issue. There's a few things that they're going over today. So I believe. I think they're going. There's a lot that's happened. I've been working on it in the episode, kind of in between my other big project I have. Oh, Lucy has left the building. Where'd you go? Oh, she's just down there. There's a few things are going over, and I've been working on it on the episodes in between working on my other big project. So a lot of that will be in this week's episode. The last 3 episodes have been kind of all in relation to all of those charges that are surrounding the charges with Turtle Boy and how that kind of relates to the case. And of course, the clips from my interview with him and some of the clips from his hearing and all that good stuff. So there's the last 3 episodes have been kind of all centered around all of the Turtle Boy craziness, because a lot of you, if you're like me, didn't get into all of that stuff. I tried to stay out of that, all of the perimeter noise. You can't hear my microphone here. Let me put it a little bit closer to me. I tried to stay out of all the perimeter noise until it became a part of everything, and then you can't ignore it anymore. So the last 3 episodes were about that. This episode that will come out this week is going to be, I'm going to have the update on the civil hearing, the Supreme Judicial Court arguments, the new filings that have come out since then, and some of the stuff in the Vanity Fair article. That's the plan. That's the plan. Joel, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for covering this. It's great to hear your voice. The last episode with TV really opened my eyes to shoot off the outside noise going on. Yeah. To shut off the outside noise. So it has been, I have seen that there is a lot of chaos going on. I just don't have time to get involved in it. I have so much happening. I don't have time to get involved in it. I have seen that there's a lot going on, and I just hope that everybody can work it all out. I knew what you meant. What are they looking for? Okay, so with Karen's dad, they're saying that the filing said something about I think that they feel like there's conflicting statements that he has made that they want to find in his phone records. So the defense is saying this is just a fishing expedition, and that Massachusetts State Police have already searched his phone. And since he wasn't called as a witness in the first trial, that it's an invasion of his privacy. So we'll see what they say. Brainy is the hardest working Floridian. Now, what that means? It's all subjective. Those episodes opened my eyes to a lot of stuff I didn't realize was going on in the background. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the background. And part of that is actually, I'm glad that I did those episodes, because part of the new defense filing is in relation to all of that. So where I kind of broke down the whole thing with Morrissey and the private phone, private cell phone that he was like the one that you can't get public records for. It's his private use phone, and his private email, account, and all of that. Like, I broke all of that down in those episodes, and that is now part of the defense filing for this case. So I'm actually glad that I did those episodes the way that I did, because now, if you don't know why these new filings are a big deal, you can just refer to the episodes. There you go. Perimeter noise. What a nice way of saying BS drama. There is a lot of perimeter noise. Hello, Beach Life. Hello. The spin up on X lately is bad. I have spent very, very little time on X lately. Very, very little time. And let me tell you, my mental health is just so much better. People on X have Some people, not all. But there are the ones who are just very, like, their whole mission is to just spread hate, and that's not my jam. So I have stayed away from X, and oh, have I loved it. Oh, have I loved it. Oh, her dad could always upgrade his phone like the others. He could upgrade it or drop it off in a dumpster on a military base. You know, whatevs. Isn't Karen talking with Yannetti on his phone also? Possibly. Oh, that's another thing that so the prosecution also wants all of the records from Karen's interview and conversations with Gretchen Voss. Now, remember, they went through that before, where they wanted to get all the stuff from Boston Magazine where Karen was talking to Gretchen Voss. Auntie Bev allowed everything on the record to be handed over, but the off the record stuff was redacted. So the prosecution is saying it's too redacted and they want access to everything. So they're going for it again. They're saying that there are conflicting statements that she has made. They're wanting to find conflicting statements or whatever. So they are going for that again to see how it goes. Allie B, hello. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. It has been ages. It's almost a whole nother age. Oh my gosh, I'll be a whole year older next month. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. It seems so strange that the people who were so united are now battling on both sides. Like there are, everybody's getting very split on both sides, which is, it's. I think they might have got a new PR in DA's office. I think they are beefing up negative. Oh yeah. I can't remember the name. I put that in one of, I think, like episode 29 or 30 or something. I cannot remember the public relations officer or public relations, whatever his title is. Everything starts at 10 Eastern, and I thought it started at 9, so I had originally set this for very early, but we started an hour early, an hour before it started, so that we could chat and hang out, because I haven't got to see y'all much yesterday. Did you see Will yesterday? TV was on while they watched Jill Daniel and Jim Ferris hearing. CPU Tom got an FU from her lawyer and was assaulted by Ferris. I did see the FU from the lawyer. I saw a clip of that. Somebody sent me a clip of that. I did not see the other part though. I didn't watch the hearing. I was in Zoom meetings most of the day yesterday. So I did not see that, but I will have to look. Prosecution is fishy. They don't have a case and trying to find a new way to accuse her in terms of car data and her dad's communications. The car data is another thing. So I put this in one of the podcast episodes too. The car data, the whole gigabytes versus gigabits thing. And look, I said in the episode, I was like, this is what I know. So this math ain't mathin' to me. If they're saying there should be this much more information, that doesn't add up. And then I saw that, after that, the defense said the same thing. So I was like, okay, so I don't sound like a total weirdo when I'm saying that, because I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. So I was glad to see that I'm not just crazy. As far as it's interesting too. One thing about them trying to get the extra interview footage and notes and all of that stuff. You know, they're looking for inconsistencies, but let's say they find some. Because they were all drinking that night. There's going to be inconsistencies. I get that. But look at how many inconsistencies there already are with everybody else. So is it really going to be... I've said from the beginning, when she says how many drinks she had, I don't rely on that. When you're at a bar, like, you can guess how many you had. You very rarely, like, can say, you know, especially if you have more than, like, 2 or whatever. I mean, they were at 2 different places. They were, I don't know. I think a lot of people, you know, you don't really pay attention to that. Not that you're out there, like, pounding 24 shots or anything, but I also, like, if my drink gets low or gets watered down and I don't like it anymore, then I'll get another one or whatever, you know. And so when you're out drinking, I don't expect every single person that was there, including her, to be able to say, I had exactly this many drinks and I had, you know, whatever. Inconsistencies like that are not a big deal to me. Time estimates are not a huge deal to me. The ones that are way off, like I left it, you know, at midnight instead of I left at 3 a.m. Stuff like stuff like that. The big stuff matters more to me than the little inconsistencies like that. And also, if there's no inconsistencies, I think that's kind of a red flag. Like when I put that one episode of the podcast where I put Laurie and Isabel's testimonies together and showed how they went, like, verbatim by the script, no inconsistencies, that's a red flag. So I feel like there should always be something, but it's like the big ones or none at all that are the red flags for me. But that's just what I think. I am a Capricorn. I am a Christmas Eve baby. I hate my birthday. I hate my birthday. It's the worst birthday ever. Everybody's busy. The Phillips podcast makes me appreciate your brilliant podcast more than ever. Brandy, you're amazing. I have not listened to it. I have heard and seen that a lot of people are not happy with it. I have not listened to it. Make sure you get paid, Brandy. Don't sell yourself short. Trust as a woman. Oh, I'm working on I value my time. How can you be on charges of assault and go outside the courtroom and assault someone? Welcome to Canton. Zach, we need a Zach that says a command that says warning, snark ahead. Not a bad idea, actually. Also, an interview with a reporter is very different thing than being under oath. That's dumb. Yeah, I agree. Which is, and you know, also, okay, if you are going around to different interviews saying a bunch of different things, I get it, you know, but they're wanting all of the off the record communication and all of that too. That was already denied. So they're going to try it again. They're going to try it again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The inconsistency that matters to me is Colin wasn't at the house. That was a big one. That was a big one. They're also trying to get the sidebar conversations to be no longer impounded because of evidentiary issues. So I am excited to, I hope that happens. I want to, big stuff happening in those. My nephew is a Christmas Eve baby too. He doesn't love it. I hate it. I hate it. Is Karen's case going to be on court TV? Is it better to watch it on here? It is. Of course it's better to watch it on here. Of course. Karen retrial was over. What happened? It was a hung jury. So it was a mistrial. And she is being retried. Capricorn birthday is the worst. Sorry, no money left for you after Christmas. You know, it's not even that. It's just the time. Like, everybody's always busy on my birthday. So it's always, I hate my birthday. I don't even want to talk about it. I hate my birthday. It's the worst birthday ever. Roxy McFly, member for 1 whole year. Missed you all. We missed you too. We missed you too. I hope I don't have to listen to Lally today because his voice is like nails on a chalkboard. I think we'll be hearing a lot less of him because Brennan is taking over as like the head dude in charge on that, which is, you know what we need? We need, after the second trial, we need a comparison on how many times Brennan asks witnesses if it's snowing compared to how many times Lally asked about the snow. Jen Devka, I don't know what happened earlier. I sent my milestone chat message and a bunch of hellos, but I don't think they went there. I didn't see them, but hello, hello, hello to all of your hello messages and happy anniversary. I'm glad you're here. I'm so, so glad you're here. Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness. Biscuit. My birthday is a week before yours. I completely agree with how you feel about it. Yeah, it sucks. Especially Christmas Eve. Because Christmas Eve is like, the week before would be awful. But Christmas Eve is like, ain't nobody got time for you on Christmas Eve. I hate it. I hate it. How much snow, who won the game, and where people sat. Oh, yes. Poor Canton girls basketball lost in overtime to Foxborough. I shouldn't know that after a murder trial, but I do. The game had nothing to do with anything, but I know the Canton girls basketball lost a heartbreaker in overtime to Foxborough. And they sat on the bleachers. Hello, hello. How many people were sitting at the high top? Was there a band? What did the band play? Was the apron clear? I missed the goat call. I wanted a screaming goat after one. Look, I got my screaming goat, y'all. Can y'all hear that? I have the sound muffler thing on so that you can't hear my air conditioner, and so sometimes you can't hear the screaming. I don't know. He's screaming, just in case. Speaking of the band, were they ever interviewed? No, so we'll never really know what happened. Our Stop and Shop. Oh, let me tell you, is Tish Fish in here? Let's see. Tish Fish in here? I don't think so. Tish Fish sent me a Stop and Shop bag and a card. I got it last week. It's so funny. And a sweet note. It's sad they probably won't remove the 2 charges the other jury said they reached verdicts on but never told anyone. I don't think they will either. I think it was a long shot, but I think it's a good thing to at least go for. I think that it would be great to I knew that there's, or not know, because you never really know. Things are unpredictable. But I assumed that it was a no-go on just dismissing them. But I think that they make a very good argument to have the jurors brought in and just asked those questions. So we'll see. Plus, y'all, I love watching me some like SJC stuff. Like those are the coolest to watch because you're not stuck with the lally gagging that makes you want to pull your hair out. And having the panel kind of fire back at each of them, and they're discussing the actual legal arguments. I think that's so interesting. That's so interesting to me. I love hearing those. And I just think those are so interesting to me. And I will tell you, like being an appellate attorney, did I just say appellate attorney? Whatever, it's fine. It's early. Let me take a drink of my caffeine. Let's try this again. Being an appellate attorney, you have to be on it, doggone it. You have to be like, know exactly. First of all, you have to have it down. You have to know everything, understand everything, because they will interrupt you mid-sentence and ask you about your argument, ask you, like, bring up a different part of it, and you have to be right there, ready to fire back, not be intimidated, not let it knock you off your game. I have so much respect for appellate attorneys. It is so interesting to watch to me, and it's really pretty intense. I couldn't do it. Like you'll see. I had somebody put in comments the other day. They were like, "Oh, I love your podcast so much. So I came to your YouTube channel, and it's really hard to listen to you. Like you sound like it's really hard to listen to you because when I am doing my podcast, I have prepared everything. I have done all my research. I have put everything together. I have written it out. So I'm reading what I have written, and I am kind of a genius. That's a stretch, but I am clear on what I want to say when I write it all out. I can write my thoughts much easier than I can speak them. When I am talking to y'all, and we're just kind of chilling. So I'm not like proofread, edited, filtered podcast Brandy. I'm just Brandy. So I'm sitting here just kind of chilling with y'all. So yes, I will say, yes, I will. I have severe ADHD, so I will go off mid-topic and be like, oh, squirrel or dolphin or what. Oh, speaking of which, there is somebody on the beach out there. There's been like nobody on the beach. Anyway, focus. I am not this podcast Brandy and YouTube Brandy are two different Brandies because I am just chilling with y'all. This is just us hanging out talking. Podcast Brandy is the one who makes the use of the time and like to inform you on things. So just so you know, so if you love the podcast and then you come to my YouTube and you're severely disappointed in who I am as a person or how I talk on here, that is okay. But also you don't have to tell me. You can keep that to yourself. Melanie, member for 13 whole months. Brady and Lucy, chat family. I missed you guys. We missed you too. We missed you too. Happy 13 months. Weinberg is a walking case law book at his age. Yes, isn't he? He is just so well versed in everything. He's very impressive to me. And I feel like the way that he argues things is exactly the way that an appellate attorney should. He's very much, let me argue the law and the Constitution and why this matters. And he doesn't do the showy stuff. Like AJ he's a showman, and AJ's great on the law too, of course. But AJ he has the charisma and the storytelling ability to, get to that part of a jury. And Yannetti is very relatable, and he's like he's like the Boston local, and he relates to the jury. So, and they love him, and he does some of that like self-deprecating humor, every once in a while and stuff like that. So he's very likable, and so he works really well with the jury. And you know, Weinberg is too, I'm sure, but his style is just so like legal facts and legal arguments and stuff. And he is so, I think he's just, he's very impressive to me. They're all impressive in their different ways. And Lally's impressive. He was also there. He showed up. So there's that. He's also there. 80s, hello, member 7 whole months. Moons the chat. You like that? Go Buckeyes. No, go Buckeyes. Go Dogs. But also happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. I love your podcast. I love seeing you in person. I love the interaction. That's one thing I do. I've said that before. I did an interview recently and they asked me about the difference of my YouTube and my podcast. And I was like, I love the podcast because I am very proud of the work I put in it and I'm very proud of what it's done. But I love the YouTube because I love being able to interact with people in real time. That is my favorite part of this. Case Carpet member 14 whole months. I love both Brandies. Thank you. All of my personalities also love you. All of them. How many different blondies are there? It depends on if I've taken my medicine or not. Just joking. Just joking. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Gangster Brandy. Look, Compton Brandy, don't play. Let's put that out there. Compton Brandy, don't play. Hello, Nancy D. So happy to see you home. How is new Lucy and boyfriend? Chat Daddy's doing well. Lucy's doing well. She's back down here now. Here I can, she's snoozing. She's doing well. Chat Daddy's doing well. And I am home. I will be back and forth a lot for the next year. So you will see me here some, and you will see me in my little office in Orlando some. Did Brandy tell us her big... No, I can't. I still can't. My contract, I can't. But as soon as I am able, I promise you I will. I promise. Miss Parks in the house. Love you, Brandy. So happy to catch you live. I'm happy to see you. Happy to see you. You're 99.5% perfect. Ooh, but that 0.5%. Woo! Woo! That's a strong 0.5%. I liked Yannetti sister. She stood up to Bev. I wish we had seen more of her. I thought she was great too. Yeah. That's a stretch saying Lally is impressive. Well, he didn't quit when most people would have, maybe. I don't know. Jackson is coming back when they go to trial. Yes, he is. He is there. He will be there. I can't believe Vanity Fair revealed that ADAs refused to retry. Yeah, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office ADAs refused to retry her. I don't blame them. You talk to attorneys and they say, and you even hear like I think didn't Peter say Tragos, didn't he say if it was him he wouldn't try the case? Like, I mean, prosecutors want to go into something with a strong case. This ain't a strong case. Like, if you look at all the problems, I wouldn't want to do it. Do you know when you can? I not yet, but as soon as I can. It's as soon as I am able to, I promise I will tell y'all. But it's a big deal. It's very exciting. I just am contractually silenced and cannot tell you what it is yet. Tiny Doe for 18 whole months. We love all our brainies equally. Love you all. Best place. Thank you guys for love. Tiny Doe for 20. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mod extraordinaire. Mod extraordinaire. Oh yeah, Peter said it, EDB said it, Runkle said it, and so did Rob. Yeah, most attorneys that I've heard or talked to have said the same thing, that they would not try this. I mean, it's, you know, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. Let me check one thing real quick. Getting close. I just want to make sure I get my stuff pulled up so that when they go live, we can watch. All right, got that pulled up so that when they go live, we can watch. Did you like Jacksonville? That's where I'm from. I loved Jacksonville. It was so cool. We had so much fun. We stayed on the South Shore, I think. And then we took the water taxi to the stadium for the game. It was so much fun. I had a blast. Beautiful little city. Chrissy Bacon member for 16 whole months. Love this channel and our Brandy and Lucy. We love you too, Chrissy Bacon. We love you too. Contract is movie in the making, y'all. You're not far off. Justice Obsessed, hello. Love being here, my Juror fam. We love you too. Hello, Lisa P.I. Hello. I have missed y'all too. I'm here and only here to get my Karen Reed news. Woohoo! Miss Parks in the house, member for 10 whole months. So excited to hear your news. We'll wait patiently. Can't wait to tell y'all. I can't wait. You have a new boyfriend. I missed that. Yeah. I guess never say never, right? I said never so many times, but he's worth breaking all my rules for. Did you visit Buc-ee's in Daytona? I sure did. And I bought a real cute purse. It's like a, it looks like a Wrangler pocket. And then it has like fringe on it. It's a super cute purse. I got it from Buc-ee's. Love it. How's the Crocassins doing? Oh, the Crocassins. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Crocassins. So funny. PSA, Brandy will be marrying her Navy SEAL. He's not Navy SEAL. He's Special Forces. In a secret ceremony, and it'd be officiated by Reverend New Lucy. That's not the news. But he's Special Forces. He's Green Beret Army, not Navy SEAL. Get it right, Zach. Miss Parks in the house. I'm a member of Microdot Patreon. He is about ready to drop a banger of a YouTube video. Stay tuned. Ooh. Thank you also for another banger episode this week from you. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, I'm excited. Excited. New boyfriends always come when you're not looking for them. I was more than not looking. I was running from them. But you know, it happens. Melissa Filson, hello. Made it home before the hearing. Whoop, whoop. Yes, I was very anti. I was very anti. Running. Let's see. Zen through nature. Brainy, someone needs your expert chart timelines for a doc. I can't wait to see it. Sort of. But much more involved. Much more than just my charts. I can't wait to tell y'all. I can't wait to tell y'all. Green Beret means he's smart, tough, and brave. He is all those things. That's okay. I'll cover the anti-love. I'm running. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. Asking for more phone data from Karen Reed and Mr. Reed is just fishing expedition. No one can. Oh, yeah. Let's end that poll and see where we ended at. Okay. 78% said no, the prosecution should not be allowed access to Mr. Reed's cell phone records, and 21% said yes. Let's see. Okay, making sure I hadn't started yet. We still got a few minutes, but I just keep checking the little, because sometimes I just get to talking. Tosh, gifted membership. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Speaking of Chat Daddy, he's calling. Hey, I'm live. It's okay. All right. Love you too. Bye. Okay. KCT, you are all keeping me company while I have to have surgery. My nurse has a free Karen Reed button. And look at there. Good luck on your surgery. Good luck on your surgery. They already have her phones. Yeah, they have her phones. Y'all so funny. Y'all so nosy. So am I. It's okay. That's why we all get along. Oops. What did I just hit? What did I just hit? Oh no. What did I just do? Oh, did y'all see too that the landlord is suing Brian Walsh's mom for property damages related to the murder? Hello. Yes, I am back in my condo for the time being. I'm going back to Orlando tomorrow, though. I just dropped a ball. Oh, gosh, what did I drop? Uh-oh, what did I do? What'd I do? Going to a special forces graduation was one of the most rewarding experiences. Love being able to see the dedication and a portion of what they do. Yeah, you know, actually, it's crazy because hearing some of the stories and the things that he says, like the things that happen and stuff, I sit there, he'll sit there and tell me stories. There's one story I can't even talk about it. I'll cry. But there's stuff that he tells me, and I will literally just sit there and boohoo cry. I can't. I have so much respect for people who serve. I can't. It's crazy, crazy. Stop pushing buttons. Y'all know I'm bad. I just be pressing buttons. Why do they want her dad's phone? They're saying that that she or that he has made conflicting statements and regarding his daughter, and they are wanting his phone records. Yeah, the landlord suing Brian Walsh's mom, I think is what it was, for, I'll have to pull it up. Yeah, his mom, for property damages related to Anna Walsh's murder. Crazy, right? What are your thoughts about them finding the Delphi guilty? I honestly, I don't know enough about it to be able to give an opinion. I have heard both ways that I will say that I think that there are some major issues with that court system, but as far as him being guilty or him, you know, being found guilty or anything like that, I was not, I've been so busy, I was not able to get into it enough to be able to have an opinion. '80s has a special someone from the true crime community. Oh, '80s, tell us. Do tell. We want to know all about it. Oops. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me make sure. Oh no. Oops, what'd I do? Hitting buttons again. Oh gosh, what did I just do? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Stop pressing buttons, Brandy. Uh-oh. Did I just mess this up? Let me just exit out and try over because I just started pressing buttons and just messed up a whole heap of stuff. It's okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Now I have to go back in. I know, me and buttons. I'm really... Crap. Hold on. Oh, almost did it again. Wait, did I do it? Hold on. I just messed everything up. Oh, I messed everything up. I just did it again. Okay, hold on. This is why I'm not allowed to press buttons. Hold on, I'm getting it pulled back up. Okay. I just, I wish y'all could see what just happened to my screen because I pressed the wrong buttons. I had, anyway, it's fine. Everything's fine.
We do 2 o'clock on the thing? Yes, I'm fine with that. 2 o'clock on the thing. But my favorite thing, just those mornings.
40 of my things just went nuts. Everything that I spent 20 minutes pulling up before we started so I could get ready, all flashed and then went away. Stop pressing buttons, Brandy.
Or 4th, either one, I can do 2 o'clock. The 3rd will be better. Stop pressing buttons, Brandy. I'm not going to press anymore. I came up the stairs with Joe Krosky.
That's so funny.
nerves after that Supreme Court hearing.
You're right.
Oh yeah. Let me pull up this too. Yeah, the Supreme Court decision, you know, those are all, they take a good bit of time. So fair. Mr. Jackson is back. Yeah, everybody was commenting on his beard during the Supreme Judicial Court arguments. That was funny. No Shave November, y'all. Someone took a video of Lally getting booed outside earlier. Oh, wow. He grew up for Brandy because she knows she likes beard. I do love a beard. Sidebar. I thought Lally wasn't going to be there anymore. He is still there. He's just not the lead anymore. Brennan is the lead now. Hold on, let me fix the audio real quick. So we can listen for hot mics. Yeah, I turned it up a little bit. The sirens, you know, I'd almost forgotten about the sirens and how crazy they were.
I'm sorry? Oh.
Yeah, I can move. I get this song stuck in my head all the time. Still. There's Turtle Boy, Meredith, Mr. Reed. PTSD courtroom. Paul O'Keefe.
Always live.
You know the artwork you did at Boss Baby, did you ever do anything similar with Lally's head? I did not. Tishfish, I mentioned you earlier. Thank you so much for... I got your sweet letter, your Stop and Shop bag. I appreciate it. Another bag. Thank you, thank you. Isn't she millions in debt to these lawyers? Yeah, I think the Vanity Fair article said like 5 million or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, he said in that interview I did with him that they knew each other before he went to jail, but they started like their relationship while he was in jail. True Crime Rate says, okay, time for me to go to hallway duty. These kids are interrupting my streaming live. Dang it. Dang these kids. Peanut member for 10 whole months. Hello. Is that Bradle standing in the back? I don't know. I didn't see. I'll look when they show again back there. liked it. Thank you. Hello. This is cool. You're doing this. Love the podcast. Thank you very much.
Just make sure everyone's phone is off. I'm just going to make thank you.
Make sure everyone's.
I know you folks are working.
Remind everyone about the cell phone use.
That would have been something.
Why would we be the people looking for tickets to the inauguration 2020?
All rise for the board, please.
All right, here we go.
Yannetti. All persons have any business before the Honorable Beverly Building. Justice of
You
the
are
Norfolk
unmuted.
Superior Court and for the County of Norfolk. God neither, if your attendance, you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is now open. You may be seated.
22117, Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. Can I have the Commonwealth identify themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Hank Brennan. I've been appointed as a special prosecutor for the Commonwealth. Along with me is attorney Laura McLaughlin to my left.
Good morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
And attorney Adam Lally.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
Brennan. Good morning, Mr. Lally.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
For the defense?
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson on behalf of the
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Little, also on behalf of Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Ms. Little.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Yannetti for Karen Reed.
Good morning, Mr. Yannetti. Good morning, Ms. Reed. All right, so we have a series of motions here. I expect we may be here a while this morning. It makes sense to me to start with the Rule 17 motions. So the first Rule 17 motion I have is the Commonwealth's motion for records from Verizon. But I do have a question for you, Mr. Brennan. Have the third-party record holders been served in all of these Commonwealth motions pursuant to Rule 17?
Thank you, Your Honor. I understand the court might have a preference that I remove from the podium. Would you like me to answer?
It's wherever you're comfortable, as long as we can hear you.
I filed a series of Rule 17 motions, as I'm sure you're aware. I have not notified any of the third-party holders. I did not want to be presumptuous, seeing that I have not met the court and didn't know what the schedule would be for the Rule 17s.
Okay.
So I have filed these just to give everybody as much notice as possible, and my intention was to ask the court if we could set a date so that we could have these motions heard and hear the defendant's objections.
Okay. All right, so I misunderstood. I thought they were on for the Rule 17 motions today. All right, so the record holders do need to be heard. I was wondering why I did not hear from any of the parties, other than I have the defendant's objection to Mr. Reed's records. But all right, so we'll get a date, and that date should be sooner rather than later, to get notice out to all the parties.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll note that we did file 2 additional Rule 17s last night. I don't know if they've been docketed.
They have been docketed. I got them, and that's why I was wondering whether the record holders had in fact been notified. So, okay, so scheduling we'll do at the end of the hearing. Then I think what we'll start with, after these Rule 17s that we'll put on pause, it's paper number 48. It's the defendant's motion for relief from the order to impound sidebar conferences.
Hi, boss.
And before we begin that, is there an opposition to that from the Commonwealth?
In part.
Okay. All right. Have you spoken with Mr. Yannetti about what part that is?
I've spoken to all of the attorneys numerous times. I think we're very clear what each other's position is.
Okay. All right, why don't you, all right, Mr. Yannetti, do you want to be heard by starting with the whole motion, or what?
I think we can short-circuit this, Your Honor. Our suggestion, I think it's a joint suggestion to the court, is that the sidebar conferences be unsealed solely for counsel at this point. Mr. Brennan's at somewhat of a handicap because, unlike the defense team, he was not present at sidebar. He does not know what the conferences were about. And in fairness to the Commonwealth, we've agreed that it just be released to us, and then Mr. Brennan can decide if he has a further position regarding unsealing it more than that.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Have you spoken with Ms. King about how long it will take to get these transcripts?
My co-counsel has spoken to her only...
Which co-counsel?
Mr. Jackson.
All right. What do you have to say about that? How quickly can she get them?
She works extremely expeditiously, but she has not started them, to my understanding. There's 3 reporters who probably would split the work.
Right.
And she said that she could get started as soon as there was a court order suggesting that she do so. I would imagine, given what we've gotten so far, we're talking a couple of weeks rather than a month or 2. I think we could probably get something within a few weeks.
Okay.
2 to 3, I would guess, just based on my experience with Ms. King.
All right. Even though it's just for counsel, do you intend to have, are you asking me to unseal the sidebar conferences with the jurors?
Just for counsel, yes. I would imagine that when we get to the second stage of this, those would be in a different category from the legal rulings at sidebar unrelated to yours.
All right. All right. Thank you.
If I could be heard briefly?
Sure.
Thank you. Regarding the non-juror information, I'm in full agreement with the defense. I think it's prudent to, if the court would consider unimpounding the documents, I can review them. If I have any...
You can review unimpounded documents. Counsel can review unimpounded documents.
Then I'll begin that task. And if there's any concerns, I'll note them. If not, then I would have no concern about releasing them outside of protective order. The juror information stands in a different posture, in my perspective. I think that should remain impounded at this point. There's a pending appeal before the SJC based on the request of the defense. If they are successful, would then reinvigorate the attention on those jurors. I don't see a need for juror information to be unimpounded at this point. All the other information, I don't have the same concern.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, the next motion. So defendant's motion for discovery of communications in the possession, custody, and control of the Commonwealth. Who's going to argue that?
I will, Your Honor. I would say at the outset that in speaking with Mr. Brennan, he had expressed a preference to be able to respond potentially in writing. So we were in agreement, subject to the court's approval, if we're going to get another date for the Rule 17 motions, to have this motion heard at that time. But I'm prepared now if the court prefers me to
No,
argue.
I'll give you the opportunity. How much time do you need to respond in writing, Mr. Brennan?
I can respond by next week.
Okay.
Really, I'm accommodating the defense. I have a very broad perspective on Rule 14 statements. Our office has made a concerted effort to provide everything that's not only discoverable under the rule, but from my perspective, a broader perspective. I want to make sure I err on the side of caution and they get every statement they're entitled to. Okay. So we're in the process of accumulating all potential statements of witnesses which they're entitled to, and I'm going to provide them to them. I've already provided a number of statements that I frankly believe are outside Rule 14 parameters, and I'll continue to do that throughout this case.
Okay.
And so my response in writing really is to accommodate the request and then give an answer in a production of what I have. That's going to take me probably 10 days to put everything together, to adequately review it, and then to provide a package to the defense. And so I think that if I have 10 days, I might be able to accommodate the request without any need for litigation. If they decide to pursue further effort, then I can respond.
Okay. All right. So why don't we give you... So we give you until the 27th, just after, or just before the Thanksgiving break?
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Does that work for you, Mr. Yannetti?
Certainly does.
All right. So let's talk about the Commonwealth's notice of scheduling, reassembly and testing of the defendant's Lexus telematics system.
May I?
Yes.
As a matter of background, as I think the court is likely aware, the Commonwealth tested information on data chips that were found in different modules that were inside the defendant's Lexus. Inevitably, at trial, the court is likely aware that there's information taken from one of the systems that was provided, and it showed information such as key cycles and different speeds. And I understand that was a exhibit at trial. There were two different search warrants by the government. One search warrant was for the car that included both a telestream and a telematics module, which is like a lunchbox with computer panels in them. And then in 2023, there was a second search warrant for the infotainment system, which is what was produced at trial. I hired an independent expert, and in the independent expert of the information, what he realized is that the information taken from the informatics manual and the information taken from the telestream manual had some irregularities. What he realized is that all of that data was unreadable. And so initially he thought that the data was not fully downloaded or compiled. He checked and he believed that gigabits were gigabytes and that there was a discrepancy. And the reason he thought this is because there was very obvious information missing from that procedure. There was information including navigation information, information regarding phones that were plugged into the radio, travel logs, things that are particularly relevant and material in this case, information that is going to be extraordinarily inculpatory or exculpatory in this case. And so after he realized his oversight on the gigabit, he filed a supplemental report. And what we learned is not only was the chips that were taken from the telematics and infotainment systems and downloaded were read with the wrong reader, so that way the information was not available. Also, in the the infotainment system, there were actually 3 boards, not 1. Only 1 was taken out. So there is a plethora of information on these chips that has not been downloaded that's relevant to this case. And so we provided notice to the defense that our intention is that we are going to test this information that we have in our control and that we have a search warrant for. And my effort was to give them notice so they could have an available expert. So my purpose really was not to ask for the defense's permission, rather it was to notice them this is what we were going to do. You can see from my motion I asked to do it within 14 days. Having recently arrived at the case, it was important for me to prioritize Rule 17 motions and new experts so that they could have adequate notice. The defense asked for today's date and wanted more time, and when I considered it, I thought that was reasonable. I think they were entitled to have an expert and consider what we are doing, even though I don't believe they have standing to prevent it. And so that's why I agreed to this date. Inevitably, we know that this information will be on these chips. And so we know there are 2 boards on the system that weren't tested, and then the other chips that were tested that came back with unreadable information with the proper computer programs, they call them programmers, we will get viable information from both of them. And so I've spoken to the defense. I know they've hired an expert. I know they've filed a motion contesting our position. I'm not going to speak for what their position is today. But I would say 2 things. One, the defense in their motion asks to have their expert be able to intervene. We're not agreeable to that. They can watch and comment and criticize as much as they'd want, but we're entitled to the download. Notably, when the first download was done, the Commonwealth deferred to the defense expert to do the download. That is not my position. I don't defer that responsibility. But it was the defense expert that overlooked the proper reader that was needed for the chips that were tested, and it was the expert that overlooked the fact that there was 3 panels in the system, not 2. And our expert was astute enough to find those oversights, and that's why we now have an independent expert that is going to do this. I know experts differ. They're not frick-a-frack. They all have different opinions, but we've attached all of the protocol, what we intend on doing, and the reason I brought it before the court is I wanted to expedite this matter. It's important, and it does.
I thought we were going to have that hearing within 14 days when we first got the motion, and then Mr. McDermott told me that the defense was looking for more time, so we gave this. But we're far into the case is scheduled currently for January 27th. Sounds like you have a lot to do before then, but as of right now, it's still January 27th. So all of these things, the Rule 17 motions, all of these things need to be done as soon as possible.
There's no way it's going to be.
I understand. And if I can just add, 'cause it might help in your consideration of a later motion. The reason why this is urgent to me to have this as soon as possible is because I also have noticed and hired an accident reconstruction expert. And that accident reconstruction expert will necessarily rely upon the information that is gleaned from this testing.
How long is this testing going to take?
It's a 3-day testing. It will take within a week to read it. And the sooner we have it, the sooner we can have our reconstruction expert engage in any type of task that we want them to. But they necessarily are in a holding pattern now.
What? No
and
trooper
that is
call?
my sense of urgency for this to be developed and done.
Who's arguing this for the defense? Okay, I'll hear you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll start by saying, in principle, we don't have an objection to the retesting of the telematics or the infotainment center, our system data. The problem that we have, our issue, sort of dovetails into what Mr. Brennan was suggesting about what was done the first time. He just suggested that his new expert, Mr. Shannon Burgess, was astute enough to find something that Maggie Gaffney didn't find. Well, to bring the court completely up to speed, when the initial testing was done, the Commonwealth's expert did not know how to do a chip-off, physically did not know how to do it, the Joe Paul. He turned to Maggie Gaffney, our expert, who did know how to do it. She's a former NSP officer and extremely facile in this world of
And you
chips.
have a different expert now. You're not using her now?
Well, we may use her, but we have an additional expert who specifically works, Mr. DeSorga, specifically works in chip-offs and chip-ons. That physical procedure of moving chips on and off of boards. It's a very technical procedure. It's a very skilled procedure. He knows how to do it. He's got an extremely long resume, having done this kind of work.
I read it.
We're bringing him up to speed in order to sort of engage in some oversight and some observation. I don't have a principled objection to doing the retesting. What I have a problem with is that their new expert, Mr. Burgess, right at the beginning, fundamentally misunderstood the data set on the 3 chips, the 2-micron chips and the expansion chip that he looked at, didn't understand the difference between megabytes and megabits, gigabytes and gigabits, and that gave us pause. If he didn't understand that, which is at the foundation of reading the data, we're concerned that some of the data could be destroyed in whatever process he engages in. Like I said, we don't have a principled objection to the work that's going to be done. We simply want to make sure that nothing is destroyed in doing that work. It's not, and I would take a little issue with something Mr. Brennan said, it's not that the data set is missing information. We don't know that it's missing information. Burla has now updated software that we believe, I think both sides believe, could be beneficial in culling or teasing out that data set from those chips. That didn't exist when Ms. Gaffney did her work previously. She put it on a reader, it was unreadable. It doesn't mean that the data is missing. It means that it's unreadable. As a matter of fact, one of the things that our expert would do and would suggest is that a process called a checksum be done. I'm going to use some made-up numbers, but let's say there's 5,123 bits or bytes on a particular chip. You can do a checksum and determine that there's 5,123 bits and bytes read now. That means down to the bit or the byte, nothing has been altered, nothing's been changed, and we know that we're dealing with the exact same data set. That checksum would be the first process in doing the additional reading. Then they can go back and use the additional Burla software to see if the data set could be read. After that's done, then my understanding is there would need to be a chip on. They'd need to resolder those specific chips, the 2-micron chips and the expansion chip, back onto the motherboard, install the motherboard back into the truck, and then turn the truck on. That's the process that I understand. My only request is that our expert, obviously, given his expertise and his knowledge of this information, he should be there to observe. And the only caveat to that is if he makes a determination, working with Mr. Burgess or observing Mr. Burgess's work, that what's about to happen is destructive to the data on the chips, we would ask gently, and I don't think this is much of an ask, that he be allowed to interpose his objection to moving forward, contact both counsel, both parties, and if need be, present his objections either to us to resolve it or to the court for intervention. That's all. I want the work done, But I want to make sure that the data set that is on those 3 chips, or additional chips that are read, is never destroyed or in peril of being destroyed. That's all.
All right. Any response, Mr. Brennan?
The defense expert would not be working with Mr. Burgess. He'd be observing Mr. Burgess. The defense expert has no active role in this testing. There is no inherent risk that Mr. Burgess is going to destroy something unnecessarily. This is potentially destructive testing, just as it was the first time. Fortunately, the information was not destroyed the first time, so we can access it again, but it's potentially destructive testing. The defense is not entitled to veto power during the process. That will delay things. It has no role or no purpose in it. And so, inevitably, Mr. Burgess is well qualified. Mr. Burgess is competent, and he is going to test these chips and provide the information to the defense. They'll get an exact copy. The idea of checksum, there's no mystery to these words. There's a protocol that's followed where they use the old software that was ineffective, and they test to make sure it's the same amount of data that's unreadable. And after they confirm that nothing has been moved or destroyed or tampered with, then they bring in the right programs, the right software, and they'll retest it properly. It will provide the information that will be available to both us and the defense.
All right, so if I act on this motion quickly, because there isn't a basic objection to it being retested, when can they begin, Mr. Brennan?
Your Honor, I spoke to my expert this morning, and I asked him for a schedule when he could test. I told him I'd like it as soon as possible. We didn't finish the conversation. What he told me is December 2nd or 3rd. I told him that would be inadequate. That's too far out. I want it done before Thanksgiving because time is of the essence, and I think it really develops everything else that will happen in this case as far as other experts. So I need to resume my conversation with my expert, encourage him, and insist that we make some changes in schedule. So I can't give an exact date because that conversation wasn't what I was expecting, but I don't think we can tolerate waiting that long.
Okay. All right, this one I will act on very quickly. All right, so I think that just leaves us with the motion to continue. I know it's a joint motion, but I need to hear from both sides as to why I should do that. Mr. Brennan?
Can I begin?
Yes. And the request is for an April 1st date. You're not looking to go any further than that, correct?
We are not. We are not. Your Honor, the Commonwealth has been on this case for some time, and I am newer to the case. I'm not looking for a personal accommodation, but I think the idea of a motion to continue in our joint request is in the interest not only of justice, but I think inevitably, I truly believe it's going to have a more efficient and effective trial. A part of my perspective is to move as quickly as I can, and that's why I've started with the Rule 17 motions. I've also tried to retain as many experts as quickly as possible. The experts will need to do whatever testing they're going to have and conduct, and then I need to provide the reports to the defense. The defense then may have counter-experts in reciprocal discovery that I want well in advance of trial. When I first entered the case, I was committed to January 27th, and I still am. If the court decides that's more appropriate, I will be ready on January 27th. However, I realized when I was trying to move and facilitate the testing of these chips in 2 weeks, and the government, the defense wanted more time, and I appreciated that their request was reasonable. I began to understand that it is going to take a little bit more time than I wanted to have the experts notice, the reports done, and then the defense have time to manage whatever the information is. I do not want to get into a position where we're turning over expert testimony, they're retaining experts to counter that testimony, and then to reciprocate in discovery where days, weeks are in the midst of trial. I want to avoid unfairness to defense at all costs, but I also want to avoid any unfairness for the prosecution, and that includes reciprocal discovery. And certainly, the reciprocal discovery cannot happen until I've provided everything that I intend on using. I have tried to exercise extraordinary diligence in this case. In addition to Rule 17s, and in addition to retaining experts, we have brought on my full-time paralegal, and we are going through the entire discovery. And I know it's already been provided, but it wasn't Bates numbers, which I'm accustomed to. And we are re-indexing all the discovery and re-providing it, even though I expect most or all of it has been provided. And I'm doing that out of an abundance of caution so I can be confident that the defense has every document I have. That will resolve or prevent any delays at trial of inadvertent late disclosure or any concern or confusion about documents that have been provided. I also, with the office, have diligently moved to obtain all Rule 14 statements so that we can get the information to the defense as soon as possible. I've employed a practice when I'm retaining experts. I don't wait until we've done testing or reports. I immediately give the CVs to the defense so they can get started on investigating and looking into the experts. So nothing is held back when I receive it. If I receive any information that is discoverable or frankly not discoverable, I provide it to them. You can see in my discovery notices when I get emails from strangers with theories that I don't even agree to, that I don't know, I don't evaluate it, I give it to the defense. And so we're doing all of this to try to be as efficient as possible to avoid delays at the time of trial. And it will allow me, when I evaluate this case, which I'm still in the process of doing, of reducing the witness list substantially. And so although it does delay the case, if you allow this motion, I think it will make for a shorter, more effective, efficient trial, and I think it will be, importantly, more fair to the parties involved. And that's why I asked you to consider that continuance. I do not expect I would come before you and ask for another continuance. If something cannot get done in time with an expert of my choosing or that I would like, I appreciate I won't be able to use that expert. And so I think the joint request is something that is legitimate. I think it's well thought, and I leave it to Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Who's going to argue this for the defendant?
I will, Your Honor. I'm not going to belabor the point. I mean, not surprisingly, in a joint motion, I agree with the argument made by Mr. Brennan. You've heard that there will be new Commonwealth experts. There are no reports yet. There have been no disclosures. No forensic testing has yet taken place. And the time frame, according to the motion, is somewhat unclear at this point. Clearly, once testing is complete, disclosures are made, we would have the right to consult with our experts and potentially employ additional experts depending on what the testing.
Have you been working on that, though, in anticipation?
We have,
Okay.
yes. Mr. Brennan has promised to index all discovery so that both sides can be satisfied that full disclosures have been made. I know he's been working diligently on that. He needs a little bit more time to take care of that. I would remind the court that during the last trial, we were still receiving reports and some discoverable material as trial was ongoing, sometimes deep into a trial. And we're really trying to avoid that this time. It's really not fair to Ms. Reed that discovery is not complete well in advance of trial so that we can assimilate and incorporate that discovery into what would now be a retrial. And our position is, Your Honor, there's simply not enough time between now and January 7th to get all of that done and properly prepare for trial. And I would just close by saying that both sides and the court have an interest in having this matter proceed to trial expeditiously. But in our view, and I would expect in the court's view, the most important consideration here is Ms. Reed's right to a fair trial. And in light of what's outstanding and what needs to be done, we believe she would not be able to receive a fair trial at the end of January. We're essentially asking for a 2-month delay, which I believe is reasonable in light of what we've already discussed. We do not anticipate any further continuance requests, just like Mr. Brennan said. So we'd ask the court to allow this motion.
All right. What do you anticipate we need to do for in-court hearings? You mentioned in your motion, in the joint motion, a Daubert hearing. How many dates are we talking about? We already need a new date now for Rule 14, for the Rule 17 motions that we have. So we need to start moving forward with all of this. Is there going to be a Daubert hearing, and who is the witness that you anticipate a Daubert hearing on? I'd like to get that on our schedule now.
We have not yet drafted the motion, but I've given it much thought. The government at trial called an expert regarding a dog bite. Forgive me, I haven't watched all of the trial.
No, that's fine. All right.
That expert, I did not believe, followed the proper methodology or had the expertise to make.
All right. Does the defense intend to call Dr. I've forgotten her name.
Dr. Russell.
Dr. Russell, do you intend to call her again?
I expect that she will be on our witness list.
All right. So why don't we set a Daubert hearing sometime in December? Does that give you enough time, Mr. Brennan?
It does, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we set a Darbert hearing? I know you'll have to fly her in, but why don't we get a date now in December for that?
Does the court anticipate that being a different day than the date we're going to set for the Rule 17?
Rule 17 we're doing as soon as possible. We'll do before
Understood.
that date.
Understood.
So we're going to need.
Yeah, they're doing it. They want to have a Dauber hearing for the dog bite expert because he doesn't think that.
So, Mr. McDermott.
That her methodology or whatever he said.
Sure. Jim, can you pull up? Jim,
Hey, Auntie Deb.
how was it's December 10th? I think we moved both our trials yesterday.
Would the 13th of December be available for a Daubert hearing? It's a Friday.
Possibly. I think we just put something else on this morning that would be time consuming.
I could also do the 12th if Mr. Brennan's available, and in my co-counsel.
I was looking at the 10th, but Jim, could you look at the 13th?
Yeah, this is the 10th.
The 10th work for both of you? The government's available on the 10th.
The government.
So I have a, you cannot do the 10th, okay.
Your Honor, just to be completely candid, I have nothing on the 10th. I've got to fly out on the 11th, and I've got an all-day hearing on the 11th. So I'm sorry, I'm reversing that on the 9th. I need to fly out on the 9th. And I've got an all-day hearing on the 9th back in California, so I can't fly that day. So that.
Well,
court
court ends at what time?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
You could take, a lot of people take a red eye, right? Can you come out then?
I do every time.
You can't fly out on the 9th, the evening of the 9th?
There's no way I can't make a flight on the 9th.
What about the 16th? It's a Monday. Is that?
We're fully booked that Monday and Tuesday.
Let's stick on the 13th. Are we still on the 13th?
Sure, if it's available. Jim, we just put Gaston on for that day. Yep, we have a full competency hearing, and we also do on Gaston.
Bev gives two shits about AJ's
You just look at
prior commitments. You could take a red eye, can't
Did you say the 12th?
The 12th works.
I can do the 12th.
I can do the 12th.
We'll accommodate, yes.
All right, so the Darbert hearing will be December 12th.
That'd be at 9 o'clock, Your Honor?
Yes. All right.
And those motions to be filed on the 27th?
We'll get a date on that in just a minute, Jim. When are you available for the Rule 17 motions? How about November 26th?
I have a trial that morning.
Where?
In Woburn District Court. To the extent that the court would give me a protective order, I can do that.
Or tell them that you have a trial here, and if I need to speak to anybody, I will.
Okay, appreciate that.
Or not a trial here, but this motion hearing.
Okay.
I'd like to do it as soon as possible to get those out and get that moving.
Thank you.
So November 26th, Jim, can we do that in the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm told that Mr. Jackson cannot make the 26th.
For the Rule 17 motions, do you need to be here in person?
If I could have 10 seconds.
Woo!
During this moment, if I could just alert the court that there is one additional Rule 17 I'll have filed by Friday. It is similar to a number of...
File it and send notice immediately of the date.
I will.
Okay.
And may I inquire, do I send notice on behalf of the Commonwealth, or does the clerk's office send it?
Mr. Lally can inform you on the process.
Thank you very much.
Send it right out.
We will. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we'll make the 26th work.
Great.
I likely will not be here, but she will be recommended.
Are we 9 a.m.?
Why don't we do 10 a.m., Jimmy?
10 a.m. on
Get
the
all the
26th.
record holders who want to be here.
10 a.m. on the 26th.
All right. And all the other motions are taken under advisement.
Great.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All rise for the pledge, please.
Mr. Clerk, whenever you have a minute.
You are muted.
She's a delight.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
See if we get any hot mic moments.
Yes, sir. Sure. Sure, yes, that's definitely correct.
You take about 4 hours.
Yeah, bring your camera and everything. Yeah, exactly.
AJ's like, excuse me, Auntie Bev. Don't talk to me like that. Do you see this beard? You see this beard? Grown man beard. Watch your mouth. So that was fun. Who's surprised that Bev still hates Jackson? Anybody? Anybody? No? Yeah, no, me neither. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about the bits versus bytes thing for a second, because that's fun. That was funny. It's like, oh yeah, they made a mistake and on the bits versus bytes thing. Yeah, I know, sir. I put it in my podcast 4 weeks ago. But okay. However, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. Because why are people blowing me up right now? Oh, I see why. Okay, so let's talk about that part for a minute. So they're saying, because that part was really, really interesting. They're saying that the Informatics and Telestream manual had regularities, I think is what he said, and that basically all of that data was unreadable. So they thought that because it's not readable, it wasn't downloadable or downloaded. I don't know what he said. So he also thought that gigabytes and gigabits, he got those confused. Bless him, that's fine. But okay, here's the thing. He says that there's obvious information that's missing. So after he realized his oversight on the bytes versus bits thing, then they also realized that the chips were read, he says, with the wrong reader, which is why the info was not available. Jackson says it wasn't the wrong reader. It was that the Burla system or software or whatever wasn't updated in the way that it is now. So it wasn't the wrong reader, but the software wasn't available to be able to read it. So kind of like if you have, you know, all of this, like, let's say you have like your little chip or whatever, and you put it in a little reader and nothing is coming up. It's not because there's nothing there. It's just because the program isn't able to like properly download it to where it's readable and you can see what it is. So, they're saying also that there were 3 boards, not 1. So there are 2 more boards that have chips that they are saying that they want to test, that they believe they're going to be able to get information from, which is very interesting. So, also, they hired a construction expert or reconstruction expert. Shout out to Trooper Paul. I'm sure he's stoked to not have to get up on that stand again. That was a shit show. So they have a new crash reconstruction expert who is going to rely on all of this information that they believe that they can now get. And this new expert that they have hired for all of this stuff was able to find those oversights. The testing is going to take 3 days to complete and then a week to read it. So they're saying that when they talked to the expert, it couldn't be done as of now. They're saying December 2nd, which of course, if the trial is on January 27th, if they don't delay it, then that would obviously not be enough time. But both sides want to delay the trial anyway till April 1st. So defense is saying they have no problem with the retesting, but what they're wanting is for their expert to be, because they found another expert to add to the other one that they had. What was her name? Gaffney? Is that her name? I think, if I remember that right. So they're saying that they still have Gaffney, the expert they had before, but they now have an additional expert who specializes in this specific thing, the chip off process. So they're saying that, like, look, bro, your dude didn't know the difference in bits and bytes, so we're not very confident in his ability to test this stuff without destroying it. All we want is our dude who specializes in this to be able to be there, and if he believes that there's something that you're about to do that's going to screw everything up, then to be able to be like, okay, hold up. Hey. Oh. 90s rap songs pop in my head. They're wanting him to be able to say, hold up. Like, let's all calm down. Let's not do that. And then give the objection on why he thinks it's going to ruin it. And then from there, be able to take that objection to both sides, both attorneys, and either figure out a solution, or if they can't have a solution there, then to take it to the court, who will then intervene and give the Commonwealth whatever they want. And Brennan saying that defense should not be allowed to have that because they are not given the power of veto, like it's Big Brother or something. They're not given the power of veto, and it would just delay the process. So that whole thing is very interesting, and I'll be very interested to see what else they can find from that. He says it could be exculpatory or inculpatory evidence that is still on there. Trooper Paul's rules of physics. It just did. That is still the episode I did on Trooper Paul versus the Crash Daddies is still my all-time favorite episode that I've ever done on anything, I think. It was like a 3-part thing because it was so, I was like, you can't, I can't leave any of this out. Having the Crash Daddies, they were like, okay, yes, I can break this down. This and this and this, science, 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 math, 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 logic, 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 physics, physics, physics. And Trooper Paul's, it just did. Okay. All right. It's fine. Everything's fine. Bless your heart. What else? Oh, the thing for Morrissey's private information. Brennan says he is going to prepare a written response for that. So until he provides a written response within the next 10 days, nothing's going to come of that. And then, of course, the Dauber hearing will be for Dr. Russell in December. And we'll have the hearing for, the other hearing, November 26th. Okay, so I'll be in Orlando. Okay, so on November 25th, we have Laurie Shaver's sentencing. And then on November 26th, the next day, that's on a Monday, the next day on a Tuesday, this is all the week of Thanksgiving. That Tuesday, we will have another hearing for this. So, what else? We do love the Crash Daddies. So basically, all rulings will come at a later date, which is not surprising. What about Karen's dad's phone? Well, he said, Brennan said that he is not prepared to argue that request. That's why we're here, but okay, cool. You just let us know when you're ready, buddy. Cool, we'll just wait here. You know, that's the thing is like, he's not ready to argue that, even though it's on the agenda for today. But, and Bev's like, okay, cool. Jimmy, you just let me know what works for you. But Jackson has a hearing on the 9th, and she's like, you can take a red eye to get here for the 10th. Cool. He filed a motion and isn't ready. That is correct. Yes. Yes. But let's make sure to scold the defense and ask them if they are doing anything to delay it. Yes. Yes. That is correct. December 10th, 13th? What? Hold on, let me look. I put it in my calendar. December 12th. And he has not watched all of the trial yet. I should send him my spreadsheet of notes. Fun times. Imagine if the defense had done something like that. Bev would have lost it. Yeah. Yep. Remember when Bev last year there was a hearing, or maybe it was the year before. I don't know. It's all running together. No, it was last year. There was a hearing that was supposed to be. There were 2 days that they were supposed to do back-to-back stuff, and whatever was supposed to happen on the second day, she made Jackson argue it on that day, and he was like, "Well, I'm not ready. We're not doing that one until tomorrow." She's like, "Well, we're here. You're going to do it now." But Broseph over here is literally here and has anyway, and she's just like, "Okay, cool. You just let me know what works for you." Just send him my notes and we won't have another trial. Be like, "Look, let me show you what you're working with here." Well, that is interesting. That's interesting. What is sticking out of Lucy's head? Oh, that's her Easter bunny. It's not actually sticking out of her head. It's her little Easter bunny. So it just looked like it was sticking out of her head. I'm so angry about this case all over again. My blood pressure's already gone back up. Let's do a poll on that before we. Do you think Bev will delay the trial? You remember they asked the first time we went through this, Lally and the defense both wanted to delay the trial, and she was like, "No." And look how effective that trial was. So here we are again, both sides again asking to delay it. Whatever. I get annoyed. You think she'll rush it? I can tell you what should happen. They should delay it. First of all, January in Boston, everybody's going to be cranky because everybody's going to be cold. That's number one. Number two, there's not enough time for all the stuff that they have to do, and they should want to have an effective trial that is well prepared on both sides, and you're not going through all of the. Remember the whole hair thing? Lally, during, like, it's like every month there's a new hearing where Lally's saying that they're waiting on DNA testing. They're waiting on the, mitochondrial DNA. They're waiting on Bodie Labs. Bodie Labs, Bodie Labs, Bodie Labs. I have PTSD if I hear Bodie Labs. Not that that's just something you hear out in the wild, but you know what I mean. But I got so tired of hearing about Bodie freaking Labs and everything. Look, I've been in such a good place emotionally and mentally, and here I am all riled up again. Bodie Labs, waiting on the mitochondrial DNA, the apparent hair. I went back and she said the 13th. I thought they said the 13th, and then somebody couldn't do it on the 13th because they had all kinds of stuff that they had just scheduled, so they decided to do it on the 12th. At 9. That's what I put in my calendar. If I'm wrong. 30 to 60 days for an entire year. Bodie Labs was going to have it between 30 to 60 days. 30 to 60 days later, Bodie Labs is going to have it in 30 to 60 days. Excuse me, sir. We just heard that from you 30 to 60 days ago. Goodbye, goodbye. Can you answer that? I'll allow it. Can you answer that? What about the carpet that Karen has in storage unit? Will she get it tested? She mentioned it in the Vanity Fair article. The thing about that is it's expensive to have it tested, but also if it's a whole carpet, they charge for the swabs that they're doing, right? Because they have to test the swabs. If you have a whole carpet and you don't know where to swab, that would be the hard part of that. Because think about it like this. That whole thing about, they swabbed John O'Keefe's shirt looking for canine DNA. Okay, they did a couple of swabs for it, but we don't know where they swabbed specifically. We don't know if the spots that they swabbed had DNA. Well, we know that they didn't have DNA, but we don't know if some of the other ones would have. So knowing where to swab would be an important part of that. And with a whole carpet, I don't know, that would be, I would think that they would have to do some kind of like Blue Star type thing to give do some kind of presumptive test to show if there is something that's showing, where it could possibly be blood, and then test that specifically. But I don't know. Lally was also dishonest in misrepresenting his correspondence with that lab. My ex, an attorney, says Lally's close to being corrected by the MSB bar. Yeah. And Miss Little called him out on that in one of the hearings too. Called him out on his BS. I miss that so much. I watch your losing it video at least once a week. My full mental breakdown video. Mental breakdown fun. Interesting. This feels just like where we left off. Rude and discombobulated, right? Can you answer that? We talked about that, Mr. Jackson. You can take a red eye. He's like, yeah, I do. Every time. Auntie Bev, don't give two flips about Jackson or his schedule. Sure don't. Sure don't. Lisa B. Jeepin, remember 6 whole months. You need to get back to Chat Daddy's arms. I will be there tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Happy 6 months. Happy 6 months. Well, I will have a recap for all of this. I'll put it on the next episode with the other stuff because I'm going to go over the filings and all that stuff. Oh yeah, the carpet from the Albert home in the basement. Karen was interviewed by Vanity Fair and mentioned it. Very good 2-part article. I recommend. Can you speak up? Debbie member 3 whole months. I haven't been here long, but I love it here. Thank you so much. We love having you here. Thank you, thank you. 3 whole months. So is this chat daddy thing serious? You look happy. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have told y'all about him. He'd have been a secret chat daddy. Steve in member 13 months. Deep breaths. Bev gets me going. Bev gets me going. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. She'll delay the trial for the state because he asked, not for Karen Reed. You know, that wouldn't surprise me. Although she didn't do it the first time. But also, look how that turned out. So maybe... Can't you just take a red eye? Calm down, Bev. If they have the trial in January, Auntie Bev will be able to threaten everyone with turning off the air conditioning. It's true. Yes, I promise I will tell y'all my big news as soon as I can. It's a big project. It's something that I'm very excited about. It's something that will be everywhere. I just can't really go into what it is yet. But I'm very excited. And as soon as they allow me to tell you, I will. I promise. I promise. Bet Bev wants it in January, hoping there isn't a crowd outside. Oh, there will be. Did Brandy read the Vanity Fair on a stream? I did not. I am doing a recap on some of the stuff. Sorry, hold on. Speaking of contract. Okay, I gotta do that. Okay, I am going to have some of the important stuff on the next episode. Bigger than the deal you made on the podcast. Squirrel. As soon as I can tell you, I will. All right, so I have work to do. So we're going to call it a day here. I will be, tomorrow is a travel day for me. I will be back in Orlando area tomorrow evening. And if I can get stuff done, Harold Thomas says Karen Reed is guilty. She was not found guilty. So that is not accurate. Taking a red eye. Taking a red eye. Lots of people do it. All right, so I've got a lot of work to get done. So I've got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to find time to stream in between all of the stuff that I've got going on with what I'm working on. So I will see what I can work in. I miss doing trials. If I can even do just a short trial with y'all, if I can work out where there's a few days where I don't have any meetings or interviews or etc. I will try to see if I can fit in something like that because I do miss it. I do miss it so much. So hopefully we can find time soon. If not, I think that I'm going to have a break for a few weeks at the beginning of the year. So we'll see, but I don't know yet for sure. We'll see. I would love to, if they do have the trial in January, that's going to be so hard. That's going to be so hard. So we'll see. That's it. I need to just email Bev and tell her that they have to delay the trial because I've got contractual obligations to do other things. She'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Got it. Check. Probably not. All right. I appreciate y'all so much. If you haven't hit like, please do. Look at me, Dynado. I remember to say that. Y'all always say I never remember. And look at me remembering. Okay, so final results on the poll. Do you think Bev will delay the trial? 68% said yes. 31% said no. So a lot of y'all think that she will. So maybe it could be. I think so. I don't think that it's going to be because of Bev just doing what needs to be done necessarily. I think a lot of it's going to be because of the SJC, and there's no way to do the expert, like the data testing and the expert stuff and all that. Like there's no way to do all that. So I think, I think it'll end up getting delayed. My personal thoughts. So we'll see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I hope you had a good contract lawyer. The good thing about what I do is that I have access to a bunch of fantastic lawyers. So that works out good. All right, y'all. I love you so much. I will see you soon. I will try to schedule another live as soon as I can. I know it won't be before tomorrow. I'm traveling. Friday, I'm tied up. This weekend, I'm tied up. It won't be before Monday or Tuesday, but I would love to try to see if I can find something to fit in because I sure do miss y'all. And so does Lucy. So, all right, y'all. I appreciate it so much. I will see y'all very soon. Very, very soon. Okay. Maybe not very, very soon, but very soon. All right. Love you.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. I can't stick around here forever.
Wonderful. Everybody behave. Everybody's always so nice to be.
Just love your channel. And
Goodbye. Now how the heck do I get out of here?